Yeah, I'm Anna. I've been with Stepping Stone for coming up on 2 years in July. And my role there is shelter advocate, which is kind of a lot of hats at the shelter. It's all the internal running of the shelter, I guess. So it kind of varies from, receptionist and paperwork to triaging in emergencies and, enforcing rules, making sure programs run smoothly and the shelter is kept clean and kind of all aspects of life just in the shelter. My biggest surprise since joining Stepping Stone, coming from a background not with a lot of experience in human services, um, it was a very pleasant surprise how quickly really the kind of biases and the stereotypes really melt away that have to do with homelessness when you get to interact with these people that you're serving. There is one woman that I did an interview with, and she had lost a loved one. She had lost one of her grandchildren, had died, and had been just spiraling through this intense grief. And so she had lost her job because she was going through all this trauma and grief, and had lost her job, had lost her transportation. All these things had kind of spiraled from just this very raw, real event that was totally out of her control. It wasn't from bad decisions. It wasn't from drug use or any of the kind of stereotypical reasons that people associate with homelessness. I think what separates, me from many of the people there, like the only difference has been support system in a lot of ways. Like I'm a single mother. I could very easily have gone through homelessness, but I've had a very strong support system. And I can't say the number of people that come in that have nobody they want to put on their emergency contacts. They have nobody that they want to sign a release of information for. There's nobody that's going to call for them. There's nobody that, is going to come looking for them. Some of the things I would like to say about the shelter, I mean, what a worthy cause it is to support. I think I hear from residents a lot. We have a lot of residents that are kind of veterans of the shelter system, I guess, where they'll come in and say, I've been to every shelter in the cities. I've hopped all over the place and spent a night in all these different places. And I come here and it's kind of the Ritz of shelters. And I think another amazing thing about the shelter is, many shelters, people have to leave during the day and they're not able to have that sense of somewhere to call their own during the day. It's amazing to be at the shelter where it's not people's home, but it's kind of their little while home, and people get attached and people make connections and have friendships, and they have a chance to, if they would like, kind of make certain things their own. We had a resident that was really passionate about gardening, and that was kind of one of her coping strategies too, was to stay busy and garden and do crafts. And she really took the responsibility to help kind of spearhead our gardening and make produce for the kitchen and things. And or certain residents will really get attached to certain chores where they make it their own, and they'll kind of lecture staff sometimes about, no, this is how you do it, and so people get to get a chance to have pride in things, get a chance to kind of rebuild confidence, and just rebuild confidence and have a springboard where they can feel good about themselves and really feel like this is their home for a little while and they can take pride in that.